Today I'm going to talk about three things. Today I'm going to talk about three things that music... Now I always... Fuck's sake. Hey guys, welcome to the Kane audio vlog. I'm Dom Kane, and today I am talking about three mistakes that most new music producers tend to make. Now, I often get asked for advice for new music producers in what they should do to further their career or start their career or to get into music production. And I think there are a few things that actually get missed out, and those are the mistakes that people make. It's probably easier to say what you shouldn't do rather than what you should do. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one, buying plugins. This is something we all suffer from, me especially, to be honest. I have bought way too many plugins in my life, and I've probably used 30-40% of them. When it comes to the plugins that I've bought and used regularly as go-tos, probably 10-20%. The reason for that is the more plugins you buy, the less you're going to be able to learn inside out. So something I've always advised people is to buy one synth and stick to it. Learn it inside out. Get to know that menu system. Get to know what every oscillator sounds like, what every waveform sounds like. Is it a wavetable synth? Is it a subtractive synth? Is it an additive synth? Get to know what these mean, but more importantly, play with it, experiment with it. Maybe find a preset in that synth and then start to play with that preset. What happens if I turn this dial? What happens if I turn that dial? And by doing this, you're going to learn the fundamentals of sound design. You're going to learn what works and what doesn't work and how it works. And that's really the most important thing any electronic music producer can learn. And truth be known, the vast majority of them are capable of making exactly the same sounds. So there's really no need to have a multitude of subtractive synths. Okay, one of them may have a good reverb chamber or some extra delay or some great saturation or a little quirk to it, something like that. But the point is fundamentally, you could add your own reverb, add your own delay, add your own saturation. There's nothing to stop you doing that yourself, so you really don't need all those extras that they package into these synths. We all hear a great track from a great producer and we go, what synth made that sound? And someone will say, oh, it was this synth. And everybody then jumps on and buys that synth, when actually they could have made it on any other synth. That producer isn't great because of that synth. The producer is great because they're a great producer, because they've learnt their synth inside out. And that's the fundamental difference. Number two, not backing up your work. This I cannot stress enough. I couldn't tell you how many producers, big or small, that I've spoken to or seen on Facebook or Twitter or any social media who've gone, I've lost my hard drive, or they've had a computer go corrupt. It's ridiculous the amount of people that do not back up. In this day and age where we've got everything from Google Drive to Dropbox to iCloud, you name it, let alone the free stuff like, if you're a Mac user, Time Machine. I'm sure there's a Windows equivalent to that or Linux equivalent, but always make sure that there is a regular backup of those files. There are so many solutions out there, whether they be NAS drives on your router or somebody else's router, or cloud backup systems, or just RAID hard drives. For me personally, I have all of my sample libraries and audio files backed up to cloud storage. So every time I buy a new sample pack and I drop it into that folder, it backs up to the cloud straight away. Add to that, I keep all of my project files contained within a Dropbox folder. So every time I hit save on that project file, it instantly uploads and I've got a copy online. So if, for example, my computer was to crash right now, doesn't matter, I've got all the important stuff that I need in the cloud. Add to that, I'm a Mac user, so I have Time Machine, and I also have RAID drives. I've got 4 RAID drives in my bays as well, so I've got double backups. So this is one of those things that I can't stress enough, and it's only when you lose everything that you're going to realise just how important it all was, by which time it's too late. So take my warning now, back up your work. And finally, number 3, have some fun. Stop worrying. Stop worrying about, is this techno? Is this house? Is this ambient? Is this drum and bass? Who cares? Nobody cares. That's who. Stop worrying about the rules. Can I use a compressor here? Can I use reverb here? It really doesn't matter. Does it sound good? That's the only question you've got to ask yourself. If it doesn't sound good, carry on playing. Have some fun. Enjoy it. That's why we do this. So I'm going to throw in a little caveat here. I'm not saying don't learn the rules. I'm not saying don't learn how to use things the correct way. What I'm saying is don't worry about using it the incorrect way, because there is no right and wrong when it comes to music or art in general. If you like it, you like it, and that's the important bit. I'm not saying don't learn music theory. I'm not saying don't learn how a compressor works. I'm not saying don't learn whether you should put reverb before or after delay. But I am saying don't worry about those things. And people make mistakes, and you will make a million mistakes. We all make a million mistakes, but sometimes they can be happy mistakes, and that's the beauty of art. That's the beauty of music. So stop thinking about what genre this is, or what genre that is, or what synth made this sound, or what synth made that sound. Just enjoy it. You learn your synths, your craft, your sound, and do your thing. So long as you enjoy it, that's really all that matters. Have fun. See you soon.